welcome. It's Psychic Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. I'm glad you made it through the last 7 days to join me again here today. We're going to start with the astrology at the top, and then we're going to get into a couple of readings. You can find me, BerniceBissonPsychic.com, and my social media is there. My podcast link is there as well. I have 35 episodes out of previous readings. You can hear my style of reading, and people come back with their recordings and they talk about what came up from the recording. So it's a pretty fun podcast if you like that kind of thing. And of course, I'm on A1R Psychic Radio every Tuesday with you for 30 minutes for readings. And if you go to my Facebook page, because I only have a Facebook page and it's under Bernice Bisson Psychic, I do a 5-minute video. It's a collective reading for the week. I use different tools. I switch it up all the time. So it's kind of fun. And if you're not familiar with a deck of cards, I use all kinds of different decks. Anyway, it's some nice messaging. If you like a nice little message for the next 7 days, just go to my Facebook and there's a free 5-minute video there for you today. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start. And everyone's talked about the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction coming up in Taurus once in a lifetime, along with Mercury retrograde, along with also a conjunct with Pluto. Now, what does this all mean, B? Tell me. Well, expect the unexpected. That's for darn sure. And, you know, I hasten to say aliens. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll see aliens. I hope so. And, but surprises, things out of the blue, you know, and in my own life, I'm a Virgo rising. And in my own life, I've had friends from the past, from like the 1980s. And what's fascinating is that if I take this transit back, we would go 86, 87. Think back if you're that old like me. 94, 95, 96, key times. 2004, right in there. 4, 5, 6, that 2-year period while we're entering into something kind of similar with this conjunction, but in Taurus. And it could shake the economy in different ways. I mean, if I just look at different public traded companies that just went out, I mean, their shares have gone up, their shares have gone down. It's been a roller coaster, kind of analogy for our personal lives a little bit. Let's get started. This is for the sun, moon, rising. And again, I use whole house astrology, traditional Western astrology, and sidereal. And you can see me for full readings by booking through my website, or I have an old-fashioned phone number. You can ask for that later. All right, Aries. All right, the first message for Aries, sun, moon, rising. We've got resurgence. This is a time of refueling, redoing things, getting yourself fired up. Be willing to prepare for the process coming, because you're going to be called to the stage. You're going to be called to speak, talk, present, put yourself out there. And this is, so just do the practice your lines, get that underway. You might be having a lot of things in your mind around remorse, whether that's missed connections, past relationships, missed opportunities. Don't spend time there, Aries. You're healing a chironic wound. You're going to move through that pretty quick. Heartache will dissipate. Things that have really been hard for you have been also teachers for you. And ironically, everything you're going through right now, the next 14 years, you will become an expert in and teach others. Yeah, that's always fun, isn't it? From student to teacher. Then I got my little Tauruses. Boy, it's all about you with this conjunction, isn't it, Tauruses? Well, I guess it's really breaking out of the old and breaking into the new for you. And so we get entertainment, the key word. Yeah, it's time to be self-sufficient, entertain yourself, to find entertainment, to entertain your desires, to entertain things that you've had on your hot plate. Acquisitions, purchasing, acquiring new friends, new lovers, new money, new jobs, new opportunities, being given merit, being recognized for your merit, whether it's been seniority at your job or just merit for a good job done, and reestablishment of really who you are and what you want, and really staying with that. Things that would have rattled you before won't rattle you now. You know, you're gonna be pretty on top of that, and reestablish your capacity to cope and to deal. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, rising. What's going on for our Geminis? We have to watch for exhaustion, Gemini. We have to watch for tuning out, tuning away from, avoiding. This could be a good time to go on vacation, a good time to get away, a good time to kind of go deeper, deeper under the covers on Saturday mornings, not get up too early and go jump at the world. Really trust your intuition, your dreams, your spider senses going on this time. This isn't a time for rash moves. Your ruling planet Mercury is in retrograde right now, not a time to move forward on things, but a time to review. Maybe it's a good time to do paperwork, tax time, closing things out. All good times for that, Gemini. Little crabs are Cancerians. Concessions, really having to concede or having to compromise or having to kind of go the extra mile to bring people on board, bring people in tune, bring people on side. This could be a time of liquidity. Simplifying by selling off, getting rid of, purging, spring cleaning. This is a time of opinions. Hey, everybody's got one. Anyway, there's a saying around that, but that means I'd swear. But opinions and really dealing with them, conceding, conciding, concessions, bringing opposing opinions into the same, bucket to have to deal with the people. You guys are masters at this, so you can bring opposing sides together. You guys are masters of this. HR directors, I call you. Leos, my lovely little lions. Boy, it's been pretty intense energy. It's only going to build till we get to your birthday. And so this could be a time where you got to get down to basics. This could be doing an inventory of your skills, limitations. This could be news coming down the pipe that you're getting rumblings at work, that things are changing or that there's new things that you're going to have to get on top of. It's okay to delay. And this is a time to delay, pause, wait, watch, just be observant, just like that little cat ready to prey. They just kind of wait and they slowly creep up and assess the situation before they leap. This could be a time of extravagance. You could be spendy, and wanting to go out, wanting to get this, wanting to do a little shopping therapy, within limits. And this is the time of becoming and getting down to basic and really getting down to task about what needs to get done. And hey, you could even be taking on an acting role. You could be taking on extra work that you're not really recognized for it so much in the job, but it's some extra responsibilities that seem to get put on your shoulders the next 6 weeks or so. All right. And then we've got our Virgos. Oh, my lovely little Virgos. And we've got learning, foresight, education, career, knowledge. Maybe you're like, darn it, I'm going to read a book. I'm going to make time to read a book, or I'm going to make time to learn a new skill, or I'm going to make time to work on a project that's personal and close to me. This is a time for affection, a time where you might be craving affection, a craving, not so much attention in the public way, but affection from a lover, partner, friends, people closest to you. And this would be a great time for massage therapy, a great time for physical therapy, physical touch. This is a time even around maybe reaching out to friends and family, maybe host a party, maybe have people that you already know coming around, getting together or making plans for this coming summer. Libras, boy, it's all about relationship for you guys. Libras, you're really healing, and Aries, you're healing karmic wounds around relationships. And I'm talking not just lovers, I'm talking about friends, people around you, where you may have gotten your feelings hurt, Libra. Maybe in those arguments that you continue to argue in your head later, saying, I should have said this, I should have said that. I feel like this is a time where you're really going to come to terms with some of that stuff, and you're going to have a couple of really good arguments in your pocket. So when you're ready to pull it out, you'll be like, I got my argument right here. I practiced that a little bit. Anyway, geez. Vibrancy, and it's letting yourself be childlike and really just enjoy and have some fun and go and play and not get too serious and downhearted, because people aren't taking things serious. And if you start looking at things too serious, you might just get confused by relationships, things that come through relationships, how people are communicating relationships. But just now's the time to go and play, be vibrant, have fun, socialize, go chat, reconnect with friends. It's a good thing. And remember, nothing's a coincidence or a quinkydink right now. Everything's going to come in with real meaning and real depth. So pay attention. Don't dismiss things right now, Libras. Scorpio. Ooh, my sexy little Scorpios. What's going on, Scorps? Let's see. We've got resurgence. We've got really letting go old heartaches and old habits and old things that have holding you back. And this might be a good time for you to really get busy about your health, get serious about your diet, get serious about your exercise regime, get serious about how you treat yourself and how you how you how you self-care yourself, and remembering to be compassionate for people and present for people, Scorpio, because it is really intense energy and you're going to have a lot of friends at your doorstep or people really needing you. So don't spread your energy thin there. Sagittarius, my little Saggies. Oh, it's time to get serious about your career. What's going on for you, Sagittarius? What is it that you want? What is it around your job? You might have sudden changes that come to you, a job change, a career change, a vocation change, something that happens that actually turns out be quite beneficial. And you might be worried at first, but you're going to grow a backbone with this. And I feel like maybe you're going to go into new technologies. Maybe you're going to go deeper down into learning technologies, advancements, progression in your career, job, your vocation, and what you're doing there. That's going to be great energy for you, Sagittarians. It's also a time of conception in all ways, ideas, babies, plans, conception of them. So this is a good time. And over the next 2 years, being able to put things in place with new technologies, vocations, and directions. Then I've got my little Capricorns. All right, Cappies. Sunshine, harvest. It's time to reap some rewards. Maybe you're getting kudos at work. Maybe people are like, hey, Cap, you're awesome. And those are the little compliments coming out of the woodwork. Insurance, dealing with paperwork, insurance, the health and wealth of others. That can include your own pension papers, your own financial future securities. You might be really focused on that, maybe even doing wills, estates, and the such. Also looking to break out of the typical culture and maybe checking out different places, the dreams of foreign travel, places, cultures, foods, and excitement. So you could be putting some trips on tap there, Capricorn. Aquarius, let's look at our Aquarians. I really think this is really coming to terms with yourselves and what you value and where you're being valued, little Aquarians. And this could be about the politics of things, political, maybe getting involved in, maybe really looking at, maybe deep diving on current affairs going on in the news, trusting your instincts, maybe really looking at legacy. What legacy are you leaving? That could be with your own work, your own creative pathways, how you're viewed in the world, and authorship of things. Maybe you're looking to write things down, create things, put your name on it, put your name to a piece of artwork, put your name to something you're working on or an idea. And this is the time to really start developing that. And then finally, I've got my Pisces and journey, revolution. This is big for you guys because this all this uncomfortable energy is really it could be very thrilling, exciting, people out of the blue. Be careful for any sort of catfishing, illusions, liars, BSers, clowns, that kind of stuff, because you could get swept off your feet. You could find real connection with certain people that kind of sweep you off your feet and bring you into a new place. And and that could even come in friendships, jobs, relationships, personal relationships, flirting, all that kind of stuff. Just having things come out of the blue, and maybe even having old relationships that you really need clarity in, and you might be given a redo, a second chance to clarify things that have happened in old relationships in order to release them. All right. And again, that's Sun, Moon, or Rising. And you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. We're going to get into it. I have Heather from Louisiana. Heather, how can I help you today?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted a general.
Okay. Well, let's look at the next year for you. What is the day and month of your birthday, Heather?
March 30th.
Okay, thank you. My little Aries. So March 30th, 3-3. So this is going to be a time where this last year, and if I go back to your birthday last year, that's actually where the change process really would have hit the road for you, in terms of endings and maybe things exiting out of your life, leaving you with a sense of a few holes in a few places that you're like, where am I going to go with this? Where am I going to go with that? And it could have been sudden changes, even with money, security, like, and that could even come through people around you. Maybe people suddenly having a disability, people suddenly losing a job, people suddenly needing you, people. So there's a lot of that energy, even from last year. Well, here's good news, my little Aries, is that starting now, but more so as we get to the fall. So in that time of October, when we hit the corresponding full moons and new moons that we just had those eclipses in, because my girl, you had a very powerful eclipse in your and your sun sign is Aries. So that sun in Aries, along with Chiron, a whole plethora of planets in the eclipse, that was almost like a finale for you, really letting go of what has been kind of hurtful in terms of your earning abilities, identity, how people were treating you, how relationships were going. And now you're in what I call the quiet time. Now, the quiet time is when you're going to be observant, and you're going to start to see all the things percolating up that are going to take hold. Because once some of these events take hold, they're in place for a long time for Aries, like they're going into their new paradigm shift. So if I explore this a little deeper, and I think of your birthday, this is going to be around relationships for you of all kinds. And so if I start at the top, it's going to be around healing relationships where there has been words said that have been really hurtful, and that sometimes we could be a bit impulsive, or we're quick to get angry about or upset about what's come at us. And you've had a really strong lesson in patience this last year, holding your tongue, holding back, having to hold still a little bit, Heather. And now you're going to be able to say things, and you're going to be able to move forward, because you're like, I don't care no more if how they feel about that. I need to find myself in this, or I'm putting myself first. The first opportunity that's going to roll around for you is really going to start to show up in the next, I'm even going to say 15 days, 30 days. And there's something really good that you're sorting out in terms of money. And I feel like it's some sort of small payout, some sort of money that could come up from the past, could come through paperwork or some sort of formal process. And I feel like you're going to be able to sign your name to something where it does create some sort of smaller bits of security. I don't want to call it big chunky money, but I will say smaller bits of security and putting things in place, like regular paychecks, regular security, something about that shows up really good for you within the next 6 weeks. As I get closer to June even. And then the other piece that's going to show up for you over this next, I'm even going to say 7 months, is going to show up in terms of your health. And it's going to be really about addressing chronic issues and pain, chronic inflammation, chronic pain, chronic issues. And there's something very much, and the other piece Spirit keeps telling me, this is just something that's sort of in my head as I'm talking to you, is to watch around allergies, sinuses, ears, eyes, head, space, side, throat, sinuses, allergies, and really maybe even catching a cold, or maybe even catching. So be really mindful about that this next little while. As well. And with the spring season, it could just be triggering things for you, because I feel like one would lead into the other, where what could start off as allergies or inflammation from that could become chronic. And I just feel like that's something that you're going to be on top of. Or maybe you just find the right doctor and medication, and it's like, zowie, I feel great. I'm not tired out by that medication anymore. I'm not. And so that feels pretty good too, something that you'll address there. And that's even in the next 4 months. And then if I go out even the next 6 months going forward, there's something about people coming to stay with you, people coming in from out of state, out of town, coming up from out of town. And you could very much have maybe some people in and out of your house, and coming to stay with you for a little while, coming to start in and out. And I'm going to say maybe even August or summertime, then going into the fall, there's something really important around that. And that brings me to as well a man around you with some health issues that you might have to support him in some way, or you'd be supporting him or in a supportive role in some way, Heather. That and I feel like Spirit keeps telling me it could even be that maybe there's a procedure, a surgery, his mobility. There's something about that that's going to be addressed, and I feel like you're like the support for a few people that's going to show up through this year. So it's going to be a bit of that theme. But I'm going to leave you with maybe a golden diamond in a sense, like, or a golden ring in the sense, like, where it's really going to pay off for you this year, and even in the next few months, is something about really solidifying your security money, um, getting that simplified, organized, sorted out with a financial person. And I really feel like your security is going to be in a far more solid place than it has been, maybe. Um, and maybe your goal is about freedom and flexibility. Maybe it's not about being ground down in a job, being ground down. Maybe your whole goal could be really around your freedom and flexibility in your income and how you're working. And so that feels good. Um, Heather, do you have a question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I will leave you with one last piece then. Is there's something about a woman who would have passed away in the last, maybe 3 years, and she keeps showing up around you. She had health issues when she passed, and I almost want to say, like, keep an eye on an auntie. Keep an eye on your auntie. Keep or an auntie figure that you may um, you may be by bedside. You may wind up going to her or going towards this older woman who's still alive. And I feel like that's also showing up for you, even by September. Now, if this is a sister figure, I apologize if I'm a bit confused, but this seems to be showing up even in the next little while. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, my beautiful lady. You have a great
Thank
week.
you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. And so just to get back to some of that, I want to just go back to some of the bigger astrology going on for people, because I don't think people have. So I'm going to start with the conjunction. In this conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, it rules the economy. Right now, Mercury is also retrograde in Aries. The sun's about to move to Taurus. We're about to have Mercury, as soon as it goes direct, will wind up in Taurus. And communication. So I feel like this next 6 weeks, but even if I start, people talk about the 20th, but it's never just a date, it's an arc of time. And as we go into this arc of time, we have, I'm going to make some bigger predictions for the planet, if you don't mind. I'm going to say for Canada, ourselves, there, and the US, things around our economy, our economies, around self-sufficiencies, independence, independent from other markets, oil, gas, yada, yada, from other continents. This is going to be a big thing over the next little while coming up, along with joint initiatives around possible space travel, around possible, just like when at one point Canada made the robotic arm. There's bigger things coming around some of that. And same with travel. I feel like we're going to hear something very groundbreaking in terms of travel technology. And I'm going to say in the next 18 months, there's going to be something really groundbreaking in terms of type or renewable or perpetuating energy. I know, crazy stuff. We're going to see crazy stuff with that. The other piece that we're going to see a lot of over this next little while is going to be revamping of possible banking systems money systems, monetary systems. And I do think we're going to see tax the billionaires. Yeah, I know. Aren't we all excited about that? We are going to see a big move for that. And I am going to say that after we go through this election going into the US in 2024 in November, we're going to see the progressives get even stronger. So the young progressive people and politics are going to become even more progressive and more volatile in a lot of ways, and a bit revolutionary as well. If I think about the education system is also one that is going to revamp very much so over this next 3 or 4 years. There's going to be new ways, teachings, technologies. COVID showed us a lot around the good and the bad of these current school systems and academic structures, and those are changing, and they will change rapidly throughout North America, certainly, as I'm talking about all of that. And the last piece that is going to be quite significant is going to be around healthcare. In the next few months, we are going to hear some pretty groundbreaking stuff around healthcare, pharmaceuticals, technologies, not just the dark conspiracy stuff. Man, I've had enough of that stuff. I mean, it's been so dark. We have to raise the vibration. And there is some really positive breakthroughs I see coming through with nanotechnologies, with sort of organic technologies, and that includes with plastics in the ocean. There's something coming out very shortly, I feel, that is going to solve a global issue around that. So we do have some really groundbreaking, wonderful things that I think are coming from this transit that we're going to see certainly over this next 2-year period. And I'm kind of excited about it. And I'm sending each and every one of you love and light, and that I'm so pleased that you've joined me today. And please join me every Tuesday at AONR Psychic Radio and the sweet folks on here. And tune in and for 30 minutes of free readings. And you can find me at BerniceBissonPsychic.com. Thank you. Have a great week.